Hi, senior consultants. Happy April. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We are like in the spring. So exciting. So I am excited about those of you that are going to be live with me today, as well as those that may be watching the recording. As always, please interact with me live or even on the recording because I go back and I look at your comments and your responses. So, hello, and Pam, I'm so glad to have your partnership and so glad to see you. I'm glad you're on. We have got a full 31 minutes, so we definitely want to get started. I want to start by celebrating for sure because I gave you guys the I sponsored graphic to post anytime you sponsored in during our series. So Pam and I have been tracking that, and Pam reported to me those of you that have sponsored since our last call. So I'm going to call out your names, okay? And this is those of you that put out the graphic. So if you sponsored and didn't put out the graphic, I don't have that data, but we want to celebrate with those of you that did. So Heather Craven, second week in a row that you have sponsored. Amber Howes, Christy Sykes, Kelsey Scher, Lisa Anglia, Kathy Griffin, Margaret Mosley, Corey Amesbury, and Marlo Graham. Congratulations. All right, and I want to now celebrate those of you that DIQ'd or promoted in March. Pam and I don't have official stats yet. They run an audit and do kind of some official stuff in the reporting, so we won't get that for another few days. But let's just unofficially celebrate with you, okay? So go ahead and write I DIQ'd or I promoted. Do we have anybody live that DIQ'd or promoted that we can celebrate with you? And if you're watching the recording, please put I DIQ'd, I promoted in the month of March, because this whole series is a focus on walking the stage. So this month, last month, and this month, really critical. So for sure, if you're dead set on walking the stage, you want to be DIQing this month. If you did not DIQ in March, okay, you have to DIQ this month and then meet the leader requirements in what's after April, May, and then you can promote, okay? So I don't have it. Let's see. Oh my gosh, we have some. Courtney promoted. Congratulations, Courtney. Lynn DIQ'd and Amanda promoted. This is so exciting. Oh my goodness. So ladies, if later in the thread you want to give any quick tips, what you say, would be the advice or the tips you would give that you say, I did this and I feel like this is what made the difference. Then, please put that, share that. Those that are working towards that goal this month will definitely appreciate that encouragement. So again, if you're watching the recording, definitely let me know if you DIQ'd or promoted. Okay, exciting. Yay. Okay, get your worksheet ready. Okay, we're going to dive into the 5 habits of a remarkable recruiter. 5 habits of a remarkable recruiter. And you're going to take lots of notes. And so be writing, and you can always go back and watch the recording. That will help you. All right. So let's get started. Before I get started, let me say this. If you haven't checked out TOT yet, that I encourage you to, because we have put out an announcement about a productivity incentive this month. Super cute products. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, I might lose you right here. I hope not. Maybe you've already seen it. Maybe comment if you've already seen it and you're excited. But when you sell 1,000 in sales, you get your choice of kind of a bundle of cute new summer prints. Okay, so that's all I'm going to tell you, because you have to see the visual of them and to see how cute and adorable they are. So yes, so adorable. So you're going to be working towards that this month. So it's a beautiful thing, because those working to DIQ or promote this month, you're going to be selling 1,000 anyway. You're just going to get an added benefit for that. But I want to just remind you, and I want to ask you a question. This is a little bit of a maybe trick question, but when a leader, which that's where you're going, when a leader hears about a productivity incentive or product incentive to sell $1,000 and get this, what is the first thing that a leader thinks about? Okay, I'm going to see what kind of answers I get here. When a leader hears about a productivity incentive, what's the first thing a leader should think? Oh, don't tell me I've thrown you on this. Y'all are checking out that incentive, aren't you? Okay, Bobby says helping their team earn the incentive. Okay, a leader should be thinking that. A leader should be thinking that. That's good. I'm looking for another answer. My team, get your team excited, use as a recruiting extra. Team, okay, don't leak it early. How to motivate your team, incentive to join and help their team earn. Okay, so a few of you guys went to recruiting, and that is where your mind should go, because that means you're going to personally be selling 1,000, and you're going to have more people on your team working to sell 1,000. So your messaging can then become, this is actually also a recruiting incentive. Okay, so because you're going to have at least 10 customers, you're going to have at least 10 people order from you, probably closer to 15. And when you offer all three things that you have to offer to those 10 to 15 customers, you should come out with at least one booking and one recruit lead, because we work the 1 in 10 statistic. So it's kind of a goal I want you guys to have moving forward, and that is for every 1,000 that you sell, we should have a recruit. Okay, and so you're like, oh my goodness, I never thought about it this way. But if you're offering it to every person that orders from you, and you have to be intentional with that. Somebody may be ordering from a party link. Somebody may be, randomly showing up at your website. You've got to do follow-up and offer the chance to learn more about earning and the chance to party. So that's the way you stay in business. So just wanted to kind of throw that challenge out to you. Does anybody have an aha there? Anybody, like, this is a month you're going to recruit if you offer the business to every one of your customers working towards that incentive, okay? All right, Josie, and then you get home office leads. So you guys see how we've layered, and you're double dipping and some months triple dipping into rewards for selling. Okay. 5 habits of a remarkable recruiter. I heard this training when I first started in the direct selling industry. It was August will be 20 years ago that I started, and I had 2 people on my team. So I was right where you were, and I had we called, and at the Pampered Chef, we called it a future director was our title, very appropriate. But I attended a training by Sue Rush. You can write her name down and Google her. She still trains in the industry. And she taught the 5 habits of a remarkable recruiter. The reason that I train to this still today is because of how it completely changed my mindset around recruiting. And from that day forward, my business only grew. I came to that training a little on the fence about whether I wanted to be a leader or whether I felt like I could. And then after this training, I promoted to director almost immediately, and to a new level in the business every year following, simply by having the mindset from these 5 habits. So definitely take notes, and I'm going to be having you rate yourself on these habits on a scale of 1 to 10, where you fall currently in that habit. Habit number 1. Remarkable recruiters work the business with consistency. Write that down. Remarkable recruiters work the business with consistency. Now, whether you choose to do 1 party a week or 2 parties a week, you need to do it consistently. Inconsistency shows up as struggle. And when you are busy using your survival skills, you can't use your sponsoring skills. So if you work inconsistently, you're focusing on yourself and what you need to reach goals in your business. You work with consistency, you have confidence, you're able to focus on your customer, you're able to identify her needs, the solutions she needs, whether she needs the product for free, whether she needs earning income, because you're confident. So that's why I've been giving you tips about never close a party without a booking attached to it. Offer the business and the booking opportunity to every person that purchases from you. It's these basic things that keep you in business, but it takes intention and it takes discipline. Okay? Habit number 1, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate yourself? 10 meaning I have 1 to 2 parties every single week. I'm consistent. 1 meaning I'm not consistent at all. I never really know what my party schedule is going to be. So rate yourself in there on a scale of 1 to 10 on your first habit. The second habit, remarkable recruiters are always smiling. If I was to text your last 10 hosts and ask them, were you smiling before, during, and after the party, what would I hear? Do you smile a lot? A smile is a reflection. It's a reflection. If you're struggling and you have either lost the joy or haven't found joy in your business, then you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? A remarkable recruiter sees each small task, understanding it's growing her business, and she still finds joy in it. Is there a smile on your face and a smile in your voice? That is a habit, having joy in your business, that contributes to recruiting. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say, how would you rate your joy in your business? And have you told your face that you love what you do? Do others see that when you are sharing the business, when you're sharing your product? On a 1 to 10, where do you rate yourself in that habit? Habit number 3, remarkable recruiters are active, not passive. The difference between these two, active, passive, is initiative. Active recruiters take the lead and they don't wait for others to speak up and tell you that they're interested. A passive recruiter is just watching for red flags, for people to maybe ask a certain questions, right? And you're looking for those people. Well, an active recruiter doesn't look for those red flags. They believe everyone deserves a chance to be offered the business opportunity. That remarkable recruiter commits to offering the business to every guest at every party. Now, some people think that being active means being pushy. And you may even have recruits right now that came to you without having to be active. I want to also point out that flyers can take time, and they are a passive tool. It's only when there is an invite that you can consider yourself active. Okay, I'm now checking out chat really quick, and you guys are putting your numbers on. I didn't even ask you to. That's awesome. Okay, good. Oh, wow, you're giving yourselves some 10s. Our people under 5 are staying humble, and they're just going to keep it to themselves. All right, so just remember, flyers can be a passive tool if there's not an invite that goes with it. I'm going to give you a quick illustration. I just happen to have my handy dandy butterfly net with me in my office. I always keep a pink butterfly net. Do you have a pink butterfly net in your office? Okay, so this pink butterfly net is, we're going to just use it as an illustration. If you are in a garden and you want to catch a butterfly, do you just stand? I'm going to be watching your comments. Do you just stand in the garden and stand in the middle of the garden and hold your butterfly net up like this and hope that a butterfly flies in? How effective is that going to be? Is that the way to catch a butterfly? No. Thank you, Margaret. No. What do I do? If I'm in a garden, I have the net and I want a butterfly, what am I going to do? I'm going to look at these different answers we get here. I want a butterfly. What do I do with this net in the garden to get one? I'm waving that net like crazy. Okay. Okay. There's one way to approach it. Somebody else, what are you doing with your net? I'm looking for your strategy. You may have a different strategy. Go after them. You have to move. You must be willing to move. Chase it. Run around like crazy and chase every single butterfly you see until you catch it. Wave it. Wave it around as you're chasing that butterfly. Swing that baby. Okay, you guys are awesome. Okay, you've got the idea. So the point is that you've got to go where the butterflies are. Could it be that the butterflies are on a flower? The butterfly might be resting beside a log. You know, to go into the bushes and kind of see where they might be sitting. For you to go and intentionally look, and you possibly, even without that crazy swinging, could probably scoop one up by just going and looking. So the difference in your visual is, at the party, are you standing there like this, and at checkout, you're hoping somebody just walks right in here and says, oh, I want to do the business. Or is every person that sits at checkout, you're saying, you know what, I would love to give you some information about our earning opportunity. Would you like to take that home with you today and read about it and just try to see if we can get some interest? Okay, if they say, yeah, I'd like to learn more, then great. I'd like to schedule a follow-up conversation with you. I only have 3 questions for you. Take just a few minutes and we'll just see if this is a fit for you. So you see how that's that's the difference between active and passive honest. Now, after using that illustration, I want you to think on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you rate yourself on being active and not passive? Okay, and you don't have to share. I'm going to have a sharing time at the end for you to share the habit that you had the highest, you know, score in. So just, this is for you to just kind of record in your notes, because I want you sending these notes to your upline, to your sponsor, the habit listed in your score, and then you guys can have dialogue afterwards. All right, habit number 4. Remarkable recruiters focus on others more than themselves. Remarkable recruiters focus on others more than themselves. Now, I will tell you that when I heard Sue when I heard this training for the first time, when she read this habit, I immediately was encouraged. I was like, oh my goodness, finally a habit I'm going to score over 5, because I'm a nice person. You know, I think I'm a nice person, because I thought, oh, I'm thoughtful. I think of others before, you know. And so Sue proceeded to share a little bit more. So let me read to you what this means in the business. Remarkable recruiters do enough recruiting to think more about what their recruit is going to get from the business than what's in it for them. We would all like to think that we think of others more than ourselves. So let's imagine a scenario to help us see how we rate on this scale. While you're at your party, someone approaches you and pays you a compliment and tells you how wonderful you did and how great you are at the business. Do you absorb that compliment and accept it with a big thank you? Well, what do you think about focusing more on the person that's saying that to you? And the fact that they said something means that they were noticing you and noticing what you were doing. So another response could be, thank you, but what you're seeing is that I love what I do. It's fun working with people like you. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? So do you see how we just turned that right around? It wasn't about you. So that is a remarkable recruiter. They are immediately thinking about the other person. So I'm going to step on some toes right here. So y'all get ready. You're working towards a goal right now, and we should have goals in this business. We just wrapped up the Maui incentive. So we've had leaders working towards, a specific goal. They need PICAs. But when your main focus is, I have got to get a PICA, I have to have a PICA, or, ooh, I just need more wishes points because we're almost have enough for our trip. And that's the thinking when you go to your parties or when you're holding a recruiting conversation. That's the driver behind you. It's not that that's bad, and it's not that you can't recruit with that mindset. I'm telling you that you will not only recruit more, but you will recruit and qualify more when your heart and your head are only thinking about the people at your party and what they need. So this is a challenge. This habit right here is a challenge. You may say, I do that on occasion, but this is a real mindset shift to really set yourself aside, knowing in the back of your mind, because you're a businesswoman, that there are rewards that come with sharing the business. But this is about where my heart is, and I'm thinking about the others and what is in it for them before me. All right, so scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself with putting others and be thinking of others, what's in it for them more than for yourself? Okay, all right. And habit number 5. Remarkable recruiters stay in control of the process. Remarkable recruiters stay in control of the process. When you follow the steps to the recruiting process, it does take you to recruiting success. And I will just kind of I will just go ahead and say in a nutshell what this means is by following the steps that I've given you so far in this training. And if you're joining today and you haven't seen all the videos up until now, I really encourage you to invest the time. Watch it while you're mobile. Watch it while you're folding clothes or while you're getting ready in the morning. You need to understand the process of recruiting. So when I shared with you the process at the party, where to share and just plant your seeds at the beginning, middle, and end, part of the process. Off doing the 3-question recruiting conversation, part of the process. When somebody says, I need to think about it, and they try to go on the fence, you stay in control of the process and try to dig deeper to find out and pull what it is they need to think about. So do you see what I mean by being in control of the process? That makes sense, right? Okay, so that a remarkable recruiter stays in control of the process. You understand that there are 3 I's to recruiting. You create interest, planting seeds. You invite at full service checkout every guest, and you interview. And I've given you the 3-question interview. Okay, when I lean in, it's important. Ladies, I have given you everything that you need to know to have a consistent party schedule and to recruit. The next 2 calls, I'm going to go ahead and tease the next 2 calls because we're taking this through April, the series. Next call is going to be answering your questions, overcoming your concerns. Is there anything standing in your way from walking the stage and DIQing in April or promoting in May? So I will be posting midweek this week, and you'll see I'll probably put some kind of fun graphic, and it'll just say, what is your question for me? And I will kind of consolidate the questions and you take the ones that I feel like there's a repeated theme or repeated question and answer those for you next week for our call. Then the next call is going to be about strong starting your new consultants. And I'll be talking about how to avoid kidnappers and having kidnappers. And then I'll be also talking about really what the strategy is for going beyond qualifying. It's not just about qualifying. It is about how to find out what the new consultant wants and needs and what she's willing to do to get it. So that will be the following week. So, all right, I'm looking at some few comments over here. Y'all are commenting on what I'm saying. Awesome. So I've given you the 5 habits. Rate yourself 1 to 10 on being in control of the recruiting process. Feeling like I know it's a system, I know there's strategy, and I feel in control. You may not today, okay? But you know you're going to, because you're going to start implementing these things that I've talked about. So, you know, go ahead and rate yourself for today. The goal is to get these numbers up and to, you know, be able to rate yourself higher. All right, so what I want you to do is go ahead and share with me the habit, and so you're going to write the habit or type the habit where you scored yourself the highest. Just so we can just kind of look and see, do we see any common themes here among our senior consultants? Can you repeat number 3? Number 3 was remarkable recruiters are active and not passive. Remember the butterfly analogy. All right, so don't write the number. I want you to actually write it. So, oh, I see what you're doing. You're putting habit number 1, 2, 3. Got it. Okay, so let's see our numbers. Let's see our numbers. We've got 5, 7, smiling, work consistently. You can put the number or name the habit. That's fine. Smiling. Okay, good. Consistency. Good. Smiling, active and control, tie between smiling and working consistently. Good. Active, not passive. Focus on others more than themselves. Good. So we've got a good cross section. So do you see here how you could be a smiler and you could feel joy in your business, but if you're not working the business with consistency, you don't have enough people to smile in front of. And the formula doesn't work. We have to be in front of enough people, right, to offer the business to get more parties from. So that's why all 5 habits are important and why the consistency one was first, the first habit. The others almost don't matter. It doesn't really matter if you're an active recruiter or you're smiling if you're not at parties, okay? So that's why super important that you're offering the business 1 in 10, tracking the 1 in 10 until you hear no enough times. Okay, good. So y'all are continuing to post. Smiling calls for new lip gloss. Oh, thank you, Pam. That is really good. Pam always brings a perspective that, you know, makes a woman smile, right? So go get you some new lip gloss and get ready to smile. Okay. So yeah, does anybody, because Carmen was willing to share what she needs to do, what she needs to focus on. Is anybody willing to share, because that's your call to action in this week, that you're going to change your mindset in one particular habit. Hopefully you'll be at least one party this week. And this goes for online parties too. You are going live in your online parties, right? Because you are selling those sales short, as well as the booking and recruiting opportunity if they're not meeting you in person. So when you're live, are they sensing the joy? All right, you want to master all of them. Good. You want to focus on others. Anybody else want to share which habit they're going to be focused on improving? I need to stop saying no for people. Exactly, because Josie, if you don't offer the business to them, you're deciding that they are a no. Thank you for sharing that. I need to be active instead of passive. I have it ingrained to get the Pika. I need to switch that around and focus on her. Good for you, Heather. Need more consistency. been motivated this month to start wearing more makeup again. I love what y'all are taking away from these live events. More active, not passive. Going live really does help. Need to focus on being active and not passive. Okay, awesome. Focusing on others takes the fear out of asking. It's so true. Pam, that is so true. When we're being thoughtful and really just doing what God innately put inside of us as women, and we come at it from that perspective, there's no room for fear. We move to a place of wanting to do the right thing and wanting to make a difference in somebody's life. So that is true. When I hear somebody being fearful, afraid of being pushy, it makes me wonder, check your heart. Where's your heart in this? And why are you doing it? Good. You ladies have been so honest and transparent and open to learning. So I know Pam's super proud of you. I am. And so two things this week, remember. I'll probably put the I sponsored graphic up again just to remind you. Don't forget, when you sponsor this week, post that. And then watch for my post midweek that asks you to send me your questions for our next live next Monday so that I can answer your hot questions. So, all right. Well, you guys have a great week. Welcome to April. Go sell that 1,000 or more and offer the business to every one of those customers. All right. See y'all later.